They told us the middle of the South Atlantic was empty, nothing but deep blue, no land, no history, no reason to look. But the lies unravel when you zoom in. Beneath the very waters that cradle the remote island of Edinburgh of the seven seas, lies a city, a structure, a forgotten grid. You are now witnessing one of the most mysterious, precisely aligned underwater formations ever caught on camera. Not from a submarine, not from a satellite, but from your own phone. Google Earth has exposed it, and if you still believe this is natural seafloor, you haven't been paying attention. Let's begin at the southern tip, what I call the foundation base of this entire lost network. Right here, buried under thousands of feet of water, is a perfect geometric floor plan. Not hills, not ridges, but straight corridors, parallel hallways, long rectangular sections, spaced out with such symmetry it rivals any palace or plaza built above ground. This is not a natural formation, this is a design, and the deeper you go into it, the more undeniable it becomes. The walls form perfect right angles. The lanes look like they're made for travel, for movement. Some of the longer lines are corridors that stretch for miles, like underwater highways carved through forgotten cities. Now, follow that layout upward. The deeper you go into the formation, the more it reveals an intentional shape. It begins to branch, like a spinal cord feeding a living city. The corridors intersect. You see junction points, multiple layers, and at the heart of it, there's a central spine running straight up the middle, like an ancient boulevard or capital road. This was not random. This was once the main artery of something massive. As we move further north, we start to see division blocks, individual zones, almost like city districts or territorial plots. The kind of design you would expect in ancient urban planning. We're not talking tribal huts scattered across a coast. We're talking structured regions, engineered with forethought, mathematical balance, and monumental scale. Some of the horizontal stretches resemble terrace levels, built for elevation. Some of the boxy sections are stacked like temples. There's a divine geometry embedded in this, the kind our ancestors encoded into every sacred site. From the ziggurats of Mesopotamia to the plazas of Tenochtitlan, this is a pattern we've seen before, and still, it rises. The central spine continues northward, climbing like a stairway out of time, and right around the midpoint, everything shifts. You begin to see a split, a crack in the system where the ancient highway fractures. That rupture is no accident. Something broke this land, something split this structure, maybe by force, maybe by water, maybe by time itself. But the top half still remains. As we reach toward the upper section, the pattern starts to fade, not because it wasn't there, but because erosion has swallowed it. And even with time working against us, we can still see remnants. Roads continue, shapes return, and the very tip of this ancient blueprint points to one of the most remote settlements on Earth, Edinburgh of the seven seas. Now ask yourself, what are the odds? A nearly 700,000 square kilometer grid, buried in the ocean, and its spine leads straight up to the doorstep of the most isolated inhabited island on the planet. Not in the Pacific, not near the poles, but smack in the middle of the Atlantic, in the exact region Plato told us Atlantis once ruled. They want you to think it's coincidence, but let's break that lie. The entire formation spans over 6,600 kilometers of perimeter lines. You can measure it yourself. These aren't glitch artifacts. These are intentional zones, with measurable borders, just like land deeds, just like city maps. We've pulled PDFs of ancient maritime surveys, underwater sonar maps, and US Navy ocean floor topography. None of them explain this, and more importantly, none of them deny it either. They've just gone silent, because this isn't supposed to be here. You weren't supposed to find this. The only reason it's on Google Earth is because someone forgot to cover it up in time, and now, it's too late. The world is waking up. This is not just a sunken city, this is the memory of something older. A blueprint left behind by master builders, the same kind who aligned pyramids to star systems, who mapped energy grids into stone, who encoded language into symbols, before there were even alphabets. We're talking pre-cataclysm engineering. We're talking pre-flood technology. We're talking the original architects. And if this is the base structure, imagine what still lies north of it. Because this isn't just a city, it's a network, one that stretches, one that connects, and one that remembers. This is part 1 of our investigation. In part 2, we go deeper into the symbolism, the alignments, and the ancient texts that describe this place before it sank. The Book of Enoch, the Emerald Tablets, Plato's Critias, the Dogon star maps. They all told us it existed. We just needed to look. This is Remnant Archives. The forgotten is being remembered, the buried is being raised, and the silence is broken.